the legendary Coach Ballgame. Legend.
Love that accent, Mr. Justin. I've got my kiddos on YouTube here as well. Welcome in. We'll give everybody about 30 seconds to tune in, and then you can give some introductions to any of those folks that might not know you. Who is JustinTime Baseball? Where'd you play? What are you doing now, brother?
It's a great question, and first of all, thanks for having me, and it's really an honor to be with you because I said this before to you on an Instagram Live. You are the epitome of what youth baseball, Little League baseball, player development, you're the epitome of what it's all about, and I look at you as like a mentor.
Thank you, man. That is so nice of you to say, and that fuels me up. That gives me fire to keep on going, brother. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm following your journey. So, yeah, bottom line is similar story to you in a way. I did not get drafted. You see a lot of phenomenal baseball players on Instagram Live, coaches that got drafted. They played Major League Baseball. I did not get drafted. And I was a pretty solid baseball player, played college baseball at Purchase, which is in the Northeast. Nice college, Division III. Did 2 years at a junior college, ended up playing at Purchase, and I had an option. I was like, look, I had to basically make a pivot on what I'm going to do with my life, as you know, and look at how big you've become. I just said, look, I got to make some money and hustle and just do something. Started coaching, giving some lessons in the neighborhood, and one lesson, two lessons, I'm assuming it's a similar story. Obviously, you're on a much bigger scale. But it turned into a whole wave, just-in-time baseball, of just working with kids and clinics and, similar stuff to what you're doing right now. And I would love to just continue to grow it and build. But I'm extremely passionate like you, and as many kids as I could help would be great.
There you go. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining in. We got some kids from Argentina in the house today, and it's your birthday tomorrow, so to you, Luis. Come on in. We're also on Instagram Live, and we're just going to talk some hitting today. Talk some basics. Talk some drills that you can do around the house. And I'll kind of kickstart this thing just-in-time baseball, and then we'll just piggyback off of each other back and forth. But
I love it.
My kiddos out there right now, we've both got a tee set up right here. And let's say we're about to take our first 5-6 swings of the day. Is there any thought going through your brain about something you're trying to accomplish? In these first 5-6 swings, and kiddos, let's give you a chance to type anything in there. Water slide. What about you, El Tizzle, Luis? Anybody on Instagram Live that's tuning in? Maybe you've got a tee set up in your backyard, maybe a net. But are there any specific thoughts that you're thinking before you just start wailing away on this baseball right here? And maybe I'll go with you, just-in-time baseball. What about you? Your first 5, 6, 10 swings. Do you have a specific thought? What are you thinking?
It's a great first question. So basically, when I'm getting on the tee, and I heard you talking with Coach Ferber, who's another great coach. You were talking to him about setup. So when I get on the batting tee, the first thing I want to say, I have a little bit of a different theory with a batting stance. I like to tell my kids to be in a UAP, which is just a cool way of saying a universal athletic position.
Yeah.
So instead of me going, bend your knees, Johnny, I say UAP. So that could apply to baseball, basketball, football. We want to be in our UAP athletic stance. When I'm taking my first 5 swings, I like to isolate. So maybe for, say, a 9 or 10 or 11-year-old, maybe we just go wide with our base. I don't know if you can see my feet, Coach Ballgame.
Yep.
But I like to go wide with my feet and I don't even care where the ball goes. I just want to work on my hands. I just want to get my hands moving, whether I'm rolling over to first base or hitting a line drive over the second baseman or shortstop, whatever. I just want to work on going upper body only. So when I tell my students to do this, I really tell them upper body only and I don't care where the ball goes, get your hands loose. That's the first thing I tell my students.
Cool, right there. We got El Tizzle popping in just to check my swing. El Tizzle wants to check the swing. Water slide. I've done some lessons with you, and for the most part, I'm in the same way. UAB, I like that, universal athletic position. For me, what does that mean? Well, this is how I play defense in basketball. This is how a linebacker sets up in football. This is how I'm going to stand when I'm ready to return a serve in tennis or volleyball. This is how I play defense in soccer or anything, and definitely in baseball. So, Dinger in the house, welcome in. We're also on Instagram Live. If you want to check in over there, you'll be able to see my partner today, JustinTime Baseball. But that's very good. Just get that universal athletic position right there, and then just try to connect with the baseball. Something for me that usually works is 2 words: center field. And it can be different for everybody, but once I've got that good athletic position, if I just try to hit my first 5 balls towards center field, this is for me personally, it gets my bat in the zone quickly, and it gets it staying in the hitting zone for a super long time. And that's something I talked about yesterday with Trevor Plouffe and some others, Coach Ferber as well. But you want to have something specific that really works for you when you're stepping onto a tee. And I love that Luis is here in Argentina. We got baseball players from all over the world tuning in.
Love it. Love it.
Let's go next up for you, Coach, because I think we got some kids that are probably in the garage taking some swings right now. Once you've got that athletic position, once you've got those warm-up swings with your hands, where do you go to next?
So great segue. So just like I talked about with isolation, as far as I go upper body, then we go right to the lower body. So a great drill for those of you who are listening on YouTube, Instagram, great movie, great drill, Happy Gilmore, the Happy Gilmore drill. So if you see when you're about to hit, I like to tell my players to get their lower half movements. We have upper half, now lower half. So what I would tell a player to do is have the bat on the collarbone, okay? And all we're going to do is we're going to Happy Gilmore it. We're just going to go left, right, hit. And what that is allowing us to do is get more rhythm, start to allow ourselves to kind of free up a little bit, and incorporate our backside. So I'm going to go 1, 2, turning the backside. Okay, now that's just allowing our sequence, right? So that's really just a fancy way to make sure our backside is now being worked on, because that's where the power comes from.
That's right. That's very good. I like that. The Happy Gilmore, I'm a big fan of that movie as well. But absolutely. So we started here getting our hands going. Now we step into the stance, right, left, and go. That is another way of saying, in my book, get your foundation ready through the swing. And by foundation, I mean just staying rooted through the zone. Dinger had a question about trivia. We might do a little trivia at the end, but it's Sandlot, baby, so we're learning some skills, and today is about hitting. Something I heard Kyle Schwarber, who's a great hitter for the Cubs, raise your hand if you've heard of that dude, but he's constantly going back to this principle of holding his finish off the tee, soft toss, whatever. Let's say you're doing the Happy Gilmore drill and your right foot, your left foot, and you're swinging. After that finish, let's hold that finish. And for me, I like to scratch my back. I'll say, hold that finish, scratch your back, and then maybe I'll try to push you over. I don't want to be able to. I don't want to be able to push you over. I want you to be able to hold your finish. Now you might say, well, I gotta go run to first base after I hit. So that doesn't seem realistic. I'm not going to do that in the game. Of course not. Practice is going to be different than the game. It's a different version of yourself. In practice, you're really over-exaggerating certain skills. That way, in the game, you can just play baseball. You don't have to worry about anything there. So we got our first 5 swings in. Nice athletic position. Think hands. Think center field. Number 2, maybe the next 5, 10 swings, we step into it. Right foot, left foot, and go. Working on that foundation and that good balance. I want to get into something super, super important, and that's our load. And maybe I'll go to you, Justin. As far as our load goes, what should the timing of that load be, and how far back should we be going?
So that's a great transition again and a great question. I would say I would use two drills for this. One is a rhythm drill. So, for example, I'm going to be in my regular batting stance after we do upper body, lower body. I go to my regular batting stance, my regular UAP. And all I want us to do for rhythm and getting those hands back is I'm just going to be in my stance, and out loud, you're going to just say 1, 2, 3, swing. You can literally say that out loud. You're in your batting stance, you're watching the pitcher, and all you're saying is 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay, so that's a great timing mechanism. It's great for rhythm. It's great for what needs to happen in order of a swing, in the order of a swing. And then another drill for a load is, I don't know if you do this one, Coach Ballgame, but feet together, hands together, okay? And all you're going to do is get that front foot forward nice and slow and get those hands back. So it's just going to be like this, front foot forward, hands back, and swing. This is also a great drill for balance. So
Yep.
I know you're a huge fan of talking balance. So feet together, hands together, foot forward, hands back, boom. So those are two great drills for rhythm, balance, and separation. Those are some great drills to do.
I love that. I love it a lot. So rhythm is a big key for me, and it's something that I start out with before the pitcher even looks in for his sign, before the pitcher lifts their foot, before they separate their hands. I'm trying to get that same kind of rhythm going back and forth. And if you look at any pro hitter, they're doing the same thing. Nobody's just standing completely still and then swinging. They're always starting that car. They start the car before the light turns green. So that's kind of similar to your 1, 2, 3, boom, and go, just to get things moving with these hips. I also love this right here where you're standing here. You just slowly take that there as you separate. There's got to be some separation, right? A little separation away from here. But here's the key. You can't let your barrel get stuck behind you, right? We can't be swinging back here. Imagine there's a wall back here. We've got to swing forwards and go this way. So something, I'll go two things. Very important here for me. One, your head has to stay still. Your head can't be moving way back here in your load, and it can't be moving way up here when you explode. It's got to try to stay still over this chin ball just like this. So we got to make sure that head stays still, but we still want to transition a little bit of power from here, right, into there. So right before the pitcher throws the ball, make sure there's some pain in this back leg while your head is still over the chin ball. And that pain is going to transfer, boom, over to this leg by impact. I always talk about a picture I see of Mike Trout. Whenever
Not a bad
he
hitter.
makes contact with a baseball, all of his power and his pain, you can see it flexed in his front leg. Everything's gone there. There's nothing else left back here. If you look at a guy like Roberto Clemente, same thing. He's sometimes here. He's all the way off of his back foot to transfer everything into the front leg. Now, one thing to keep in mind, when you're loading, we know we don't want to reach back here, right? And I always talk about this flashlight right here. We don't want this flashlight shining all the way back on the umpire. But if you look at guys like Mike Trout, a lot of quick swingers, their barrel stays super close to their head. As they're getting a rhythm going, as they load, as they land their foot, and as they're ready to swing, they just make sure this barrel stays super close and tight to their head. Boom! And now they've got a little coil here, right? They're not reaching back with their hands. They're keeping that barrel close, and there's enough coil where they can still see the ball coming. You're coiling too much if you can't see the ball coming with two eyes, right? So keep that right eye for me on the pitch. I coil, but my barrel stays close to my head, and then I just fire from there. And think of that. Think of Mike Trout. Like, you've seen Mike Trout swing the bat. He's so quick from this place right here. It's just like nothing beats him because he's tight with his barrel to his head, and then he just, whoom, he just rotates. So you talked about the two good things, the 1, 2, 3 drill and the step into it, Happy Gilmore, as well as the separate. Anything that you do with your guys to really focus on the explosion part and the weight transfer?
So I have an awesome drill, coach, and that was a great breakdown just now. And you put up a great video that I actually showed a lot of my students about. It was so innovative, the clip that you made about not being too quick back, be quick forward. Focus on being quick forward, not quick back. One drill that you just did that I was going to say is you put a ball in the tee, okay, and to get that backside through, just literally kick back to hit the ball. So, for example, I have a ball in the tee. I'm inside because it's pouring in New York right now.
Oh,
so,
it is. It's hot in California as well. So here you go, YouTube. If you can't get Instagram, watch him on the bottom half. He's got a great drill here.
So first of all, this is awesome. Second of all, so here's the drill. Ball on the tee, and all I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to be in my regular batting stance. I'm watching the pitcher, and I'm a lefty just like you, Coach Ballgame, which I think lefties think alike a little bit. So I'm here, I'm watching the pitcher, and I'm just going to kick through, literally kick my backside through as I hit the ball. I'm kicking my backside through when I'm hitting the ball. This is emphasizing turning the entire way. It's also a great way, going back to what you love to talk about and what all hitting coaches should talk about, is balance. So I don't want to be here, okay, but I want to make sure that backside is getting through, and I'm holding that finish.
It's good.
Backside and holding through. That's great drill for balance and getting that backside.
I call it the lift drill. It's really, really good, and I have a lot of hangbackers, and I'm sure you've seen your share of hangbackers as well.
Sure.
Those ball players that they get over their backside, but then they stay here and they kind of collapse back here. There's a lot of pop-ups, the back shoulder drops. So again, guys, go watch some video of Roberto Clemente. He does this drill, boom, even in a game. Because all he's trying to do is turn into that baseball with what I call the box. You hit the baseball with a box, your hips and your stomach. In college, this is all we worked out as position players, is abs, obliques, hips, legs, because you're not hitting the baseball with these arms, right? You're hitting the baseball with this box of muscles turning here. So coil here, barrel stays close to the head, boom, uncoil there. So you've got power and you got balance, two big ones. The other word that I think of when I'm teaching hitting is vision. And I would say this is the most important word, all right? Of course, we need that power to hit it hard. We need that balance so our head doesn't move, and we know where to put this barrel. We know how the barrel can touch the ball. But as far as vision goes, by far the most important, and here's why. A lot of kids get obsessed with their swing, right? They're obsessed with their swing. We're talking about the swing right now, so we're asking you to be obsessed with your swing. But once you get into the game, you can't be obsessed with your swing. Be obsessed with the ball. Become best friends with the ball. Out of the pitcher's hand, what is it doing? How fast is it going? What color is its hair? What's the ball's favorite cereal? How is it spinning? How is it turning? Everything. Answer every question you can about that ball. That way your barrel knows where to go. So
I love it. I love that.
Any drills you do when you see a kid flying their head out, or you see a kid with a pretty swing, but it's just not making contact with the ball because they're not in sync optics-wise.
So you're asking great questions. So two things. Very simple. When I have a batting tee, okay, most batting tees have a circle. Okay, and this is the most common drill you could do to keep your head on the ball. And also, just to piggyback on the tee in general, every drill that we're doing here should have an emphasis game speed, meaning it should have an emphasis on game speed, meaning I want to make sure on every rep, whether it's the kickback drill or the separation drill, I'm always keeping my eyes on the pitcher before I hit. So, right, I'm here, I'm watching the pitcher. Now, this drill, you're talking about keeping your head down, simple. You're going to hit the ball, keep your head on the circle, okay? So that's all you're doing. If you watch Nolan Arenado and you watch Cody Bellinger, two pretty solid hitters, I would say, pretty good hitters. Where's their head? Their head, I broke this down the other day to one of my students. Their head is on the ball even after they hit a bomb over the wall. Okay, yeah. They look at the ball after the ball has been over the fence. So a great drill to do here is just hitting regular on the tee and just overemphasizing keeping your eyes on the circle on the tee. Very simple, great way to keep it down.
It's great, and I have my kids do the same drill, and it's super, super important, folks, that this word keeps coming up. Exaggerate and over-exaggerate. And like he said, Nolan Arenado, Cody Bellinger, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, all the great ones, they even do this in the game. They're really focused on baseball, meaning bat. Sometimes we get really obsessed with where the ball goes. Thank you very much, Nala. Thank you, El Tizzle. And start asking some questions, kiddos, on Instagram Live, on YouTube. Ask some questions. But the music, the beautiful music, it happens when bat meets ball. That is the most important part. So absolutely, I love this. Just keeping your head down on that empty tee after you've hit the baseball. If somebody's doing soft toss or front toss to you, same thing. Just try to really see this ball hit the bat and then stay right there afterwards.
Hey, Coach, can I piggyback on that for 1 second? Is that okay?
Please.
So one other thing that I've learned over the last year or two is it's not only important to keep your head down to see the ball, but it's also a mechanical meaning for your swing. It's your head is connected to your arms. So by you keeping your head away and watching too early, it actually pulls the barrel away from the strike zone. So it's not only just seeing the ball, Coach, it's also, and I'm sure obviously this is stuff that you tell your students, is it's a mechanical thing to keep your head down because it's keeping my chest over the ball. You look at a guy like Miguel Cabrera, his chest is over the ball, meaning his head. And that's what's going to keep that barrel in the zone longer. And ultimately, that's how you hit the ball further, is by keeping that barrel in the zone longer. So that's another thing for keeping it down.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you miss that on YouTube, basically when that head pulls, not only can you not see the ball, but also it messes up your swing. He just said Miguel Cabrera, one of the best hitters of our generation, if not the best. Him and Albert Pujols, for me, are just the best two hitters of my lifetime. His first 30 swings in batting practice, he's just hitting balls over the right field wall. He's trying to hit opposite field balls. Why? Not only to get his eyes in tune with the ball and stay connected visually, but it gets his swing connected because his chest has to stay more over the ball, his eyes are here, and that creates this bat path that is quick to the hitting zone, long through the hitting zone. And when I was pitching, the only hitters that scared me a little bit were those barrels that just never left the hitting zone, right? Really hard to miss this thing if it just gets here quick and stays here forever. So I think if I had to give one piece of advice to any kid, it would be how quick can you get the barrel into the hitting zone and how long can you keep it there? I think a lot of professional hitters would agree. And that means your eyes have got to stay down through it. Here's another great thing that helped me with keeping my barrel in the hitting zone a long time. And I call it the 2T drill. I don't know if you can see that on Insta, but I've got 1 tee, I've got 2 tees, and I can just practice in slow-mo or full speed, right? And let me go ahead and add one more thing. I want to get the barrel into the zone quick. So now I've kind of pinned myself up here against this wall, and you can use whatever you want to. You can use a fence. But this right here, it keeps me from reaching back and going into what I call burger land. I don't want to knock these buckets over, right? I want to keep the barrel tight to my head as I coil, and then I come through and I swing quickly forward. And now I'm just trying to hit both balls. I quickly get the barrel here, out in front of the buckets, and then I hit that ball, and I hit that ball, and then my eyes stay down as I go to my finish. A great drill you can do into a net, 50 balls a day. You can use wiffle balls if you want to. But the 2T drill, plus the buckets back here, quick to it, long through it. Anything to piggyback on that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's an excellent drill. I do a very similar drill with a noodle, as far as from behind me. Those barrels, those buckets that you're using, same kind of thing I use with a noodle. You can have a pole like a PVC pipe. Those are cheap.
Yeah.
You can buy it at Home Depot or wherever. But as far as what you said, I mean, you hit everything on the head. And an even simpler one on top of that, I mean, that's a phenomenal one, is just put a ball or a cone right next to the tee, take a swing, watch the cone. I mean, either way, the whole bottom line is you're emphasizing keeping your eyes down after contact.
Yeah.
So it's great.
It's good. So great there. So what have we talked about? We talked about balance, and I always ask you players to bring your notebooks. So El Tizzle and Nala and Luis in Argentina and Brian Stronghold and the Dinger and Water Slide, whoever is on Instagram as well. Write this down. You got to have good balance. You got to have good coil with those hips for the power, and you got to create great vision with the way you keep your eyes down. Now, I just want to go over a few things you guys can be doing around your house, some drills that you can do either in your garage, your backyard, whatever, and there's so many you can do. I'll just hit one, and we can kind of go back and forth with
Totally.
great little drills to do.
Jack, what's up? Jordana, what's up? I got people coming in from New York here.
New Yorkers, welcome in. So one of the things I love doing off the tee is kind of manipulating the tee so I can work on different pitches. You know how you get through little zones where you're crushing a baseball, and then maybe a pitcher throws you in a place you don't like, and then that gets you in a slump. Two places that were tough for me were up and in and low away. Up and in, low away. So you might not realize this, but with a tee, you don't have to stand in the same place. I can move here and treat that as an inside pitch, and then just scoot back so I'm meeting the ball out in front, because I've got to meet the ball out in front earlier when it's close to me. And then I would just do one-handed tee drills on this pitch that I struggled with. Okay, and I do it one-handed. Keep the barrel close to my head. I've got my 1, 2, 3 rhythm. Load and explode. Boom! And I'm hitting that ball towards left center field. Right? I'm never trying to hit a ground ball over to third base. But if I'm working the inside pitch, I'm thinking gap. If I'm working the outside pitch, and that was the other pitch that was tough for me, was low and away, I can do the same thing where I move the tee out here and then back. Right? So I end up scooting up, and now this ball's getting deeper here, and I'm just working on either top hand or bottom hand, hitting that ball toward right field. Line drive to the gap, somewhere to right. So that's a great one. You can do one-handed tee drills, in and out, up and down, manipulating that tee. What do you got, my man?
So during these times, I'll tell you, Coach, I saw this on MLB Network, which I know you're sort of, not sort of, you are involved in a way. I mean, you're an ambassador, no doubt. I've been using a lot. I saw on MLB Network. I'm going to show you. This has been my new thing. My new thing, Coach, has been a rolled up pair of socks. And it's a great way to hit in your room or in a dining room like I'm in right now. And you talked about soft toss. You could do this in your dining room. You could do this in your kitchen, and it's not going to hurt anything. But just a rolled up pair of socks is a great way, a great tool to use for soft toss in a house or an apartment or wherever you're at.
And you can use that thing for working on throwing, catching,
totally,
fielding, hitting anything.
But yeah, use that balled up sock. If you've got a brother or sister that can toss the baseball to you, toss that sock to you, and you work on it. Work on
You
the
can even do it
one hand.
yourself.
Yeah, toss it to yourself. Work on two hands. Here's another thing I've been doing. And I got this from Trevor Plouffe yesterday.
Stud, by the way.
I'll be posting his interview on my YouTube today, so you'll be able to see that. But he'll use a small bat, like a tiny bat, maybe a stick, and these tiny little golf balls, these wiffle ball, super tiny, and he'll just work on hand-eye coordination with that, either flipping it up in the air and working on hitting it. Possibly you got somebody tossing it to you as well. It really keeps you zoned in because it's so small. I know a lot of pro hitters that do this. They use these miniature balls to really work on their hand-eye coordination.
Totally.
Here's another good one, seeds. Gives you a chance to use seeds. You put some seeds in your mouth. You crack the shell, right? And you're going to spit the shell out. But before it hits the ground, you're going to try to hit it. So you spit the shell out, and then you try and hit it. Works your hand-eye coordination. It works a lot of things, especially how to chew a sunflower seed. So you knock out two things with one. So that's a really good one for the hand-eye coordination. Anything else you've been rocking and rolling around the house with, Coach?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to piggyback on the sunflower seeds, if you watch Robinson Cano, before every at-bat, he has sunflower seeds when he's on the on-deck circle. Even during the season, he has it in his mouth. He spits it, hits a couple. That's almost like his batting practice before he gets on the field. That could be kind of his secret weapon. I mean, he's one of the best hitters the last 10 years.
It's great because you're spitting forward, so you don't have any time to swing back here or take a big swing backwards. You've got to swing forwards just like that.
Totally.
So,
I'll tell you a great one, Coach. A great one I've been doing is an extend and stop drill. So if you get a pillow, right? I'm in front of my couch right here, and you're in your batting stance, and all you're doing is you're going nice and easy. You're just going step, extend, and stop. And basically what you could do is you could do it against a pillow, right? So if I were to go the extend and stop, just working on that top hand, bottom hand, because ultimately when you're at contact, if you're here, like you talked about, you're going to get around the ball. If you're here, if you're top hand, bottom hand, if you see from behind, bottom hand, top hand, that's the ultimate contact point. So you can do that in your room against your pillow. Extend and stop.
Right there.
Extend and stop.
Boom. And then stop right there. Key thing, if you're going to step, take that step nice and quiet like you're landing on an egg so your head stays still, right? You get in trouble when you take a step and it makes your head lunge forward or makes your shoulders fly out this way. So just a quiet step and then extend, boom, just like that. So kiddos, ask us any questions before we go have our weekend. I wish you all a great weekend, especially in Argentina there, Luis. Have a happy birthday.
I'm trying to think of the time difference there, Argentina.
Yeah, what time is it, Luis, in Argentina? I'd like to know that.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Coach.
Ask a few questions before we go. Usually at the Sandlot, Coach, we'll do a skill, we'll work on a drill, and then we'll do a little Q&A. So any of you New Yorkers have any questions, fire away. But any last comments from you for my kiddos today? What's one piece of advice every kid should have in regards to hitting a baseball?
So there's so many layers, but if I had to pick a couple, I think you and I really see eye to eye on it. It's rhythm, balance, and control the controllables. Meaning we're not thinking about our batting average. We're not thinking about what is next, what happened before. Being balanced, being athletic, and controlling the controllable. Just trying to get a great pitch and hitting it hard. Coach, one of my New York students has a question for you. Oops, as my phone's dropping. What's the best drill to be short to the ball? I mean, you're the king at this, Coach.
Yeah, short to the baseball. Well, honestly, I would say, yeah,
I'm going to go with this one. I love the sunflower seed one because you're spitting and it's falling fast and you've got to be boom. You've got to be quick to it. But honestly, I'm going to go with behind the back toss. So the hitter is here, and if you have the resources to have somebody who can toss you one of these tiny balls, they're basically where the catcher or the umpire would be, and they toss the ball, you're going to be right here. Keep that barrel tight to your head, right? If this happens, you're late. You're going to be late. But you're here, and that ball's crossing in front of you just like this. And as soon as it passes your front foot, wham, go get it before it's too far away. I would say that's the best, not only for being short to it, but it's long through it as well, because sometimes you really got to stretch that barrel out there to get to that ball that's going in this direction. So tiny balls, behind the back flip. That was a cool handle, Gateway Acupuncture. Good question right there. Any questions? El Tizzle, Nala, Water Slide, Mom and Dad, Dinger, Brian Stronghold.
Coach, I got a good one for being short to the ball. If you and I appreciate you giving me this time, and I love this. I would do this every day with you, but we both, we all got things going on.
I can talk hitting all day.
Oh, it's awesome. But a great one is, if you notice, if I'm facing you like the pitcher, I actually want to jam myself. Okay, so I want to jam myself on the tee, meaning this might be a pitch where I'm going to get jammed. A great way to stay short to the ball also is, I'm a lefty like you. Stay short to the ball, jamming myself, and focusing on hitting absolute bombs opposite field. So if I'm here, it's tight on me. I'm going here, and I'm focusing on opposite field, hard, not just flicking the ball, but hard, like hitting bombs opposite field. Vice versa for a righty, right? So that's that short, tight, compact swing. That's that, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Cabrera swing, where it's tight. It looks like you're getting jammed, but you're really just staying really inside the ball. So jamming yourself and going oppa.
Love that, and I love how I love in a New York accent how it sounds when you say absolute bombs.
I love it.
You can't beat that. I love that. So my guys on YouTube, right, you bring in this bat so close inside, like it's gonna be, like it's gonna jam you and get in your kitchen, and then you just hit this boom bomb to right field, and you can do that in practice. I would say practice swings are way underrated. Practice swings are super, super important because you think about how many practice swings you take, it's hundreds a week, right? And if you're taking a bad, lazy, long practice swing, your body's going to learn how to do it that way in the game. But if you're taking over-exaggerated good practice swings, let's say you struggle with the high pitch, so you're taking these practice swings at your forehead and really training your body to combat that bad habit, then you're going to get better. So take great practice swings, no doubt about it. Any other questions, kiddos, before we go have a weekend with our family? I appreciate you guys tuning in, and Coach, I appreciate you doing this with me, man. This will be my every day, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 Eastern. Next week, I got some great ones lined up. Coach Duke Baxter, who works ground balls. Sure. Yep. We've got Marlon Bird. He's going to work on some hitting with us. Legendary MLB player. So I'm going to keep making the calls and getting people here. But
that's awesome.
Good stuff. I'd also like to do some trivia with you one of these nights. We'll do a little baseball trivia.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. That would be phenomenal. That'd be great, Coach.
It's been a lot of fun. We've had a couple 12-year-olds win the past couple of games, and there's some smart 12-year-olds out there. So.
Oh, totally.
Hey, my guys on YouTube, let's give Coach JustinTime baseball and attaboy 1, 2, 3. Attaboy, and give him a follow. Give him a follow on Instagram. He's always posting really helpful things about how to hit the ball correctly. And hey, have a great weekend, my friend.
Coach, you're really an inspiration, and you do a phenomenal job. You do a great job, and I'm not surprised by the guests you have because, you're what it's all about. So I hope to do this again with you. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll talk a different skill, but we'll do this possibly once a week. Even we'll get you in here.
Woo! I love it, Coach.
All right.
Good luck. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Absolute bombs.
Absolute bombs. I'll see you, Coach.
Bye bye.